Welcome back to episode 8 in the Director of Football Challenge here in Kolding IF, where we are taking a look back on the first half of the season and also continue with the winter transfer afterward. It is the 1st of December and we have been playing the last match before the winter break now. We will take a look at what I have noted down as the 3 most important or interesting games of note so far. Our first big test was against the Vejle away from home, and overall it wasn't really a bad performance. And we might have been a little bit unlucky not getting a draw here. Also, it was the first game for Nemeth back from his injury, and yeah, surprise, surprise, another injury in that game. And of course, I mean, yeah, 3 to 5 weeks, right? I think it was, so not great. It is really annoying with the injuries. The second big test was against Hobro at home, who turned out to be one of a little bit of a surprise, big contenders to winning the league, or maybe at least a contender to second place. I think we can be extremely disappointed with this result, and letting in 2 goals with their 0.68 xG, that is, yeah, that's very poor of us. The third one here is by far the most important match right now to me, and also maybe the best performance, I would say, against our biggest rivals, both in the league and actually also a very fierce rival in Real. Had we lost this, I think Vejle might have just run away with this league. Well, they might already have done that, but we'll see about that later on. It is again time for top 3 goals in the first part of the season. GB Sek scored a very good goal, something of a I would call it a team goal, actually. There was a really good build-up, and he got his goal here, Sek. This is a very, very late winner, 87th minute here. Vest just running through their defense and taking a goal. That is a really good winner against Vidal. Another very late winner here, as Nemeth scores in the 85th minute and securing 3 points against our rivals Vejle. Not exactly a beautiful goal, but it is a very important goal to score here by Nemeth. And here is the full schedule. I would call this pretty dang decent. We got 14 wins, 3 draws and 4 losses. The 2 games we lost against Hobro, well, it is what it is. Also Vejle, I mean, away from home, of course. It is maybe to be expected. At least I think it's understandable. So overall, I am very, very happy with these results. And here we have the competitions, an overview of the competitions, of course, and we are currently 3rd place. We are already qualified. We are 39 points with Hobro. That's not bad. That's very, very good. But I do not think either of us or Hobro is going to catch Vejle on 47 points. I think they're going to run away with it. Horsens on 32. I think it's gonna be between us and Hobro to get that second spot, promotion as well. I doubt Horsens is gonna be good enough, neither Fredericia, I don't think so, but I mean, I could be mistaken. That's gonna be, of course, next episode, how we will see how the promotion kind of group is gonna go. Also worthy of note here is that we got knocked out by Næstved in a penalty shootout. I did not see that coming. They are actually in the 2nd division, 1 league below us. But I don't think that's actually bad for us, because we don't have a really big squad this time around, so maybe it's nice to just focus on the league, and so far it's been fairly good. This year, or this season, I'm taking a tiny bit more hand-on approach when it comes to the training. There are some limitations to what the AI is capable of doing, so I am giving the players a lot of feedback. I actually left one in here. On how they are training, and also trying to min-max a couple of things. Also, I'm just talking to the players a lot more, so I'm doing a lot of these praisings when they do have enough rating, because the AI is not going to do that, and I kind of like to do it anyway in a normal save. So I'm gonna, do that just for full disclosure, or whatever you want to say. So there it is. I've made quite the mistake when we hired the head of youth here, as he is unambitious. Which is terrible, to be honest. Maybe I was reading it as ambitious, I don't know, but we are 100% in need of a new one. Now, this is actually a picture I took. This is at the 6th of August, and I already sacked him. It cost us 6,000, so I ripped up his contract for 6k, and we got a new one. Mads Davison is the new one, who might not be better in terms of attributes. Yeah, but the tactical approach? No, not either. It's a 4-4-2. Not that I think that matters too much, but what is important is, for me at least, I think the most important thing is actually the personality for these head of youth development. I mean, yeah, the attributes, yes, the Formation, yeah, depending on what you want. But I think 4-4-2 is fine for us. But more importantly, this guy got a really good personality. Is it the best one? I mean, no, not really. I think the best one is maybe Model Citizen. But Resolute is, well, it's definitely in top 3. So I think we got a good head of youth now. The injury issues from last season is sort of gone. Sort of. I mean, we definitely have less injuries this season. But yeah, it's hard to tell if it's actually better or not. But right now it seems like it is better. We do have a couple of very problematic injuries throughout the season so far. Mostly important is Nemeth, like 50% he's been gone. He only played 7 games or something like that. He got 4 injuries so far. That is just, he's not an injury prone, right? He's not an injury prone. Daniel Harvo, he continues being injured, and yeah, it's not great. NJ had his injury at the start of the season, of course, and then also, of course, my mistake bringing in an injury prone in Phil Ufusu Aye. Yeah, but otherwise, I think we are looking okay. I think we are looking okay in terms of injuries. Leonard Mosser, our goalkeeper, he wants to leave the club, and he got a promise here that we are going to ensure that he is sold if a replacement is signed, and he is transfer listed by request. So, yeah, not great, but maybe we can get some money for him. Captain Sommer, yeah, he is gonna stay again. Yes, he is. Well, only for 6 months this time, but yeah, he signed a new contract, giving him like £100 more or something like that. Sorry, euros. So yeah, he's gonna stay for the remainder of this season. And the same goes for Adi Tsik, our central defender. He has played 7 games and 7 subs, and I thought, yeah, let's just keep him around for another 6 months as well. His contract was also running out. The 1.1k for him as well. Sure, I think he is gonna be fine for the rest of the season. On the other hand, Frederik Carlsen will be leaving us this winter. The youngster wanted way more in wages than I was prepared to give him. I think he wanted 800 in wages. So he will be leaving when his contract is up. Daniel Harbo will also be leaving us. Yeah, I really didn't want to do this, but here's the facts. He hasn't played a lot. He's been in a lot of injury both this season and last season. He hasn't played a lot for us. Let's take a look at the history here. Played 6 games this season, 5 games last season. That's just not enough for the wages that he's getting. He's not an injury prone, but even when he did play, he wasn't that great anyway. His contract is running out, and he also demanded 2.6k in wages. Could probably get him a little bit lower than that, but still, it is nowhere near the amount that I'm gonna give for a player that have only played, what, 11 games for us? Nah, not gonna happen, mate. And then maybe the biggest news is that Ingvarsson, who was out on loan, is now also permanently gone. Yes, the club in Iceland, I can't pronounce their name, but they decided to actually, after, I don't know, 7 games or something like that, to pull the trigger on him. So that is us getting money. 375k. Yes, please, more of that. I believe I've completely forgotten to show you the manager profile. Yeah, of course, it's the DOF profile. That's how we play it. So yeah, this is how it looks. And of course, we have really bad, numbers. We can improve that by getting, badges, but so far Kolding IF board is not really willing to give them to us. I can't move club because we don't have the badges. No one is coming in for us. No one will come in for us until we have better badges. I'm sure of it. Here's the fact. I signed a new contract, right? Again, they came in again and they gave us a new contract. Another 2 years, 975 euros. Sure, but hopefully we can go get those badges up so we got possibilities of leaving as well. Do I want to leave right now? No, not really. I'm enjoying this right now, so no, we're not gonna leave. But we want to have the possibility of leaving in the future. In the squad tab, yes, we are back in here. Let's take a look at some of these statistics, starting with the average rating. As you can tell, I've already highlighted a couple of players. Now, there is a lot of highlighted players here, and I think maybe the most important to highlight would be Klingenberg, our striker. He has been very good. It's kind of interesting to see that our manager is actually sometimes making him a sub. Maybe because of his age, maybe because of fitness concerns, I don't know. But when he plays, he does really, really well. And I've also highlighted quite a few of the players that plays a lot, right? 10 games, 21, 17, 18, 17, 19, 13. So we got Aye until he got injured. Softik, Madsen, Sommer, Gostina, Jensen, and Gongo, all of them above 7 in rating. That is very solid. And when it comes to points won per game, I have highlighted 4 players here. In J, which haven't played a lot, and it is a player that I likely would sell. So yeah, but I don't think he's good enough, but maybe the points per game here is suggesting something else, maybe. Also, Terzic on 2.35, that is pretty solid as a rotational option, I would call him. Often playing fullback this season, actually. Tomaselli, he is someone on the bench, and he's coming in securing the points for us as a very defensive-minded player. That is very good. He's sometimes a fullback, sometimes a defensive midfielder, and sometimes even a central defender. He's just filling those gaps, right? And that's also what I thought he would be. So yeah, that's those 3. And the last one I want to point out here is Ngongo on 2.26, which is kind of good for a, well, striker slash wide target forward type of player. He is doing quite well for himself this season, I would say. And with the team goals conceded per 90, there are kind of 2 things we're looking for here. First of all, the first thing we are looking for is someone who is not letting goals in, right? When they're playing, we are conceding less. That is a thing we want to look for. Mark Nielsen, the fullback who has played 20 games, 0.72 goals conceded. That is pretty good. Same with Jelby Sek here. As a winger, 0.72. That means he is probably involved in some of the defensive work as well, which is kind of interesting to see. Also, his stats is suggesting that he might be working quite hard to do that, actually. You do have the acceleration, the work rate, and the decision making and stuff like that, composure, determination. So that is worth a mention, I would say. Also, Softik and Aye, not too surprised about those 2 being up there. So that's very good to see. On the other end, I think we should highlight someone like Tomaselli, who is coming in and securing a lot of points, but he also seems to be leaking quite a few goals when he does come in or is starting in. That is very interesting to see. But I don't know how that corresponds. Maybe we don't have enough to make that statistic. Maybe we don't have enough to make a assessment, any assumptions here. I'm not too sure about it. Terzic, another one that is, you know, the same deal. Quite a few subs, sometimes starting in, sometimes. It's very odd to see that, actually. Klingenberg, I'm not too surprised about that one, actually, because he is probably not much of a... I mean, he looks like a pressing forward, but yeah. I mean, and I'm not too concerned about it because it's only 0.91. As long as it's below 1, I'm not too concerned about it. So the only one that is really worrying here is basically Tomaselli. I don't think we got enough game time on him to... Well, he played 32, he played 48 per minute, or per game. So minutes per game here. So I don't think Hurst is... Maybe both. Maybe we should just ignore both of them because... But I don't think so, actually. I think Tomaselli do have a problem here in terms of letting in goals when he is playing, but I don't know why, because it's quite a significant number compared to anyone else. But it's something to think about next time we are giving him a contract, maybe. I kind of wanted to add a couple of more things when it comes to statistics, or, well, in this case, the data hub. I haven't really used it a whole lot, but I just went through it and thought, wow, there is a couple of interesting things in here. First of all, the XG table is looking something like this, which means we are looking... I mean, the expected points is +7, so yeah, that seems pretty good. Violet is +14, that's insane. Hobro is +10. I think it is a little bit of a surprise that Hobro is actually that far up in the first place. So that's kind of interesting to see. General performance, we do not concede a lot of goals. To be honest, I'm a little bit... Because we almost conceded one every single game, I noticed, but no, actually it's 0.83. And also expected goals against is very, very good for us. Shoots on target seems pretty good. Pass completed is insane for this level. And also goals per game is fairly good as well. We might want to score a little bit more, but hey, what can you do? Overall, it does... actually, we have a lot less shots per game than the average. That's kind of interesting to see. Alright, so possession. I think this is how we are winning games. We are infrequently winning the ball because we just have the ball all the time. We are, and also very reliant in possession. That is very interesting, right? The passing here, as we can see, lots of passes and very, very accurate passing. Almost 90% accurate passes. That's a... it's giving away how Lasse Holmgaard is playing. It's definitely giving him away here. So we are the Barcelona. No, we are the Manchester City or Barcelona. Well, the old Barcelona, the new Manchester City of the Danish lower league football. And this is the pitch tilt, right? Fewer passes against in the final third. We are not allowing them into our final third at all. And we have a lot of passes in the final third. So it looks really solid. I mean, we are just absolutely destroying them in terms of possession. Goals from set pieces. I think this is also worth a mention. We do score a good amount of goals from set pieces. We do. And yeah, that's kind of nice. It's actually kind of nice. The pressing intensity, now that's the other part of it. Low number of possession passes per defensive action, high defensive line of possession. We don't play with a very high line. We are like mid-block. So we just don't lose the ball. And when we do lose it, we do win it back fairly quickly again. We don't allow them too many actions. So it's an interesting tactic, right? He's using our good old manager, Lasse Holmgaard. But yeah, I really like it. It looks fantastic. Everything about this season looks fantastic. Back out here in the squad planner spreadsheet, I have done a bit of updating and adding a few things. We got our youngsters over here, as you can tell. Yep, that is those youngsters that are not part of the first team, but we are still, you know, they could be used, and that's why I put them in here. I wanted to see how they added up compared to the other ones. We also have a sell section over here, the players that are going to be sold, and we also have a release kind of section. So I think this is giving me a little bit, and maybe hopefully you, a little bit better picture of what is going on in the club, also in the B team, and technically also the under 19s, but all of these guys are actually in the B team right now. But yeah, a small update and also some colors here. Purple text equals loaned out. Boston is loaned out. And the blue text means potentially loaned out. And I removed the brackets and what was the other thing? The thing for showing that we are selling them, because we are just moving them over here instead. So there it is, a little bit of an update. So let's figure out a game plan for the winter transfers here. There's gonna be things happening, and I think the most concerning thing, and let's start with that one, is probably the goalkeepers. We do not really have anyone down here right now, and we know that Marser wants to leave. We don't know if he's gonna leave, but if he is leaving, we definitely need to go out and find another one. I wouldn't mind selling him because money. We also have the loan deal, who is going out. Not technically a release, but his loan deal is, you know, running out. So we are kind of just left with a, you know, a youngster here. I don't know how... it's hard to actually make a game plan for this because we don't know if we have Moser or not. If we do have Moser, we will probably not sign a new one. But if we think that he's gonna go this window, then we definitely need another one, 100%. Then we need a first choice goalkeeper, 100%. In terms of the fullback area over here on the left-hand side, I think we're good. Nielsen have been the first choice. He's played almost all games, 20 games or something like that. Hurst as the second option and not playing that much, but that's fine. And Suftik, I don't think actually Suftik have played out there at all. So I think the left back area is perfectly fine as it is. Central defender on the left-hand side here. Suftik have mainly been playing here with Jensen as a backup, so we don't actually have a third backup here. It might be a little bit weak not having that third option. We do have Lund, who is playing up here actually, who could potentially play down here, but I don't really see him as a central defender. But so it's a little bit weak, and we could go out and find something, but I don't think we will. I think we are just gonna be happy with what we have here. Same on the other side, I would say. It's basically the opposite way around here. Jensen is he has played over here pretty much all season, and I'm perfectly fine with Softik and Jensen as the central defenders. Terzic have played some games here, but have mainly also, like, he's 50-50 between fullback and central defender, which is fine by me. And Tomaselli has played a couple of games here. I think we are okay in the central defender area. Unless someone is sold, I don't think we're gonna do anything in that area. Fullbacks on the right-hand side. Yeah, there is a couple of things here to mention. Ufusu Aye, he's injured, and he is an injury prone. So, you know, Is that really someone we want to bet our horse on throughout the rest of the season? I don't know. I think we should, but yeah. I mean, Terzic have played out here a couple of times. Same as Tomaselli. Are they good enough? Are they good enough as second options? Maybe so. It's definitely an area where we might consider doing something. And that brings us to the midfield, more specifically the defensive midfielders, because there is an overlap here. Sommer, Nemeth, and Tomaselli has been playing there. Sommer, the further we got into the season, and he's just been pushed down here, but he might also just be better playing in this spot. So I'm okay with that. It's just, the problem is Nemeth has been so much injured, and he might also be first choice further up. Tomaselli as the second option, basically, or third option. I think we are okay there as long as Sommer or Nemeth is one of the two that is starting in. Tomaselli, a little bit more of a question mark of him, but overall, I don't think we need anything specifically here. And if we do, it's because we need something on the left-hand side of the midfield as well. Nemeth, Sommer, basically just the opposite way around. So we have like an overlap there, and also Vest is in there. He has actually come in and done fairly okay. He's doing okay, Vest. But we might want to consider some kind of rotational option because of Nemeth, all of his injuries. If he's not injured, it would be perfect, right? But he has been injured, Nemeth, 50% of the time. That's a lot. So there might be something happening there, and those two is overlapping each other. The midfield on the left-hand side and the defensive midfielders overlapping each other quite a bit. So there might need to be done something there, but I'm not too sure if we do it. Midfielder on the right-hand side. Now that is also, we are losing Harbo, right? He hasn't played, so Gustina, I would say Gustina has been a standout player this season because he's a 21-year-old, or 20, I think he's 20 actually. And he's been playing pretty much every single time he could. And he's been doing quite well. And then we have two, youngsters. I think we might be okay with those two. As you can see here, the numbers are, if they're around 20, then I'm okay with it. Lund is definitely up there. So maybe we just let it go. I mean, every time Lund, and Poulsen hasn't really played a lot, but Lund, every time he played, he looked okay. So, and we even have another youngster out here called Monk, who is also a midfielder on the right-hand side. We have plenty of options in terms of youngsters that can play there, and we do have Gustino as a first choice. I think it's okay, at least until the summer. And that brings us up to the winger situation. We, on the left, have Masson as a first choice. He's been one of the standout players this season so far. Definitely a really good loan deal for us. Then we got Jibisek, but Jibisek has also been probably the most consistent player on the right-hand side. So, yeah. Now, who else would be here normally would be NJ, and he has played a couple of games here and there. But I would like to sell him, and if he is sold, we likely need to bring in another winger instead of him as an upgraded version. But that might be on the right-hand side instead. So left-hand side is okay as long as those two are in there. But the problem is Sek is also playing over here, and I think we could make an upgrade, or at least just bring in one more winger that could be a main kind of guy on the right-hand side to Masson on the left. I mean, I don't have anything against Sek or Ngungu, but I feel like we need a fourth option. Ngungu is more of a target forward, I would say. He's sometimes playing here, but I think Sek have played a little bit more over here rather than Ngungu. I think GB Sek is okay, don't get me wrong, but I think we could potentially have someone coming in here if NJ is going. If NJ is not going, then we are not going to get anything. Then we're just going to stick with what we have. Up top, I don't really have a lot to say here, to be honest. I think Klingenberg is speaking for himself here. He has been fantastic. The only worry is if he's getting injured, that is a lot of goal contribution gone, I would say. Ngungu is sometimes playing up here when Klingenberg is in need of a rest. So Ngungu is sometimes playing as a backup. I don't think I've seen Masson play one time here, so I think we could potentially just take that out and just leave it open for someone. We do have one striker over here, this guy Andersen. I don't think he's good enough. He is very often on the bench, but he's never really used. So yeah, we are probably lacking a little bit, but it's not something I really consider going out and buying someone really good or not buying, but finding someone really good. I don't think we need that. So to sum that all up, it is a bit of an odd situation, I would say. We don't really need anything unless someone is going. If we sell Moser, we get a goalkeeper. If we sell NJ, we get a winger. If we find something very interesting in the fullback right area, then we go get it. If we find maybe something in the midfield here on the right hand side, we also could get that instead of one of the youngsters. But there is a lot of things up in the air in terms of what is going to happen this transfer, I would say. It's really hard to make a master plan when you don't know if you're going to sell the players you need to sell to bring in something new. It is a month later, the 8th of January. The transfer window opened and we do have a signing. Yep, we have signed him already, but he is not for now. He is for the summer, right? He is one of those cheeky deals. He's 27-year-old. He's an attacking midfielder, which sounds a little bit odd to bring that in because we don't play with attacking midfielders. But Agon Mukoli, 1.5k in wages, squad player. Let's take a look at him and why I did decide to go for him. So yeah, it's an end of contract kind of thing, and he is an all-purpose kind of player going forward. He can do a little bit of everything, and that's the type of player I really like. And he still have the quality to be potentially first spot somewhere, and if not first spot, then definitely second spot in a lot of different places. I think where he is maybe gonna be best is on the wing, but that all depends on who else we get in, of course. But yeah, winger on the left, winger on the right, because he's 2 feet. We got 2 very good feet. That also means he can go down into the midfield and play a Masila role either side. I mean, he pretty much fills 4 different spots for us. And he could also go up and play a false 9 if, you know, if we really need him to. So he can just play a lot of different roles within our system. As a squad player for 1500, I think that's pretty good. Because he's good enough to start in. And he can start in 4 places. That's a win for me. Another thing that I have considered going forward, I didn't mention it before, but I think what we're going to do is not bring in anyone who is either red or orange in consistency, and also either red or orange in injury prone, and also if they are red in big matches, we're also not going to bring them in. This guy, he don't like the heading, or not much of a team player, but yeah, the other things way more important to me. We are not going to, as far as I can, not bring in anyone that got these issues if they do have them. But yeah, there we go. That's a new player for the summer. And we got another cheeky deal here. Another one for the summer. It is Anton Klaster, an 18-year-old center back. And he is coming in on 1.4k in the summer, along with being an important playing time. Yep, I am gonna take an important player as an 18-year-old. I think he is gonna be good enough. Let's accept him and let's go in and check him out. I think he would already now be our best central defender if he came in right now. Actually, we can compare him to probably our best Jonas, which is on a loan deal. Jonas Jensen is a loan deal. Yeah, well, it depends on how you look at it, because technically, or the technique here is definitely better on Jonas. He's a little bit better in vision, worse in the physical area. But then we have the mentals and the aerials, which is very, very important as a central defender. Overall, I think this is going to be a tremendous deal for us. Just tremendous deal for us. I think he's going to be an incredible defender for us. Even if we go up to, if we do get promoted, I think he got Superliga level, lower Superliga level, but still, he's probably good enough to get up there and be a starter. So I am very happy bringing him in. And again, very consistent. More importantly, they don't have the cons that we don't want to see. So yeah, very happy that there was a couple of other, you know, big clubs coming in for him. So I did not think we would get him. So this is a massive signing for us. Absolutely fantastic big signing for us. We got another signing, and this time it is not a summer signing. It is actually for now, and it is Erik Abrahamsson. Again, we are going to the FC Copenhagen Youth Academy and just rate their players. So 1k in wages. He's gonna come in as a defensive midfielder mainly. We didn't specifically need a defensive midfielder, but that will kind of leave Sommer and Nemeth with potentially playing a little bit further up the field. And also because of the injuries for Nemeth, it's not a bad deal. And he also got one more thing for him, and that is that there's a couple of things. He's fairly good. He's fairly good. He is unambitious, which is not my problem. That is FC Copenhagen's problem in the future. But yeah, that's the only really concern about him. Now, another thing he can also do is play fullback. Now, they don't want him to play fullback, but we only got him for 6 months, so if I play, or if, let's say Holmgaard is going to play him there, again, not my problem. So he kind of fills a couple of spots for us, and I think he is good enough for this level. So yeah, I'm pretty happy to get him in, because he will be filling a couple of spots that we definitely needed filling. The fullback area and potentially also in the midfield area. He can even go up and play a midfielder, but I think he would probably more so play defensive midfielder than anything compared to our other two players. So I just overall a really good loan deal for us. I would say for 1,000 euros. Yeah, I really like it. So there we go. We at least got one signing this transfer. Well. We get another surprise signing. This one is really interesting. Joachim Rothman. He was top goal scorer last season in our league. He hasn't played a lot of football this season, but he was top goal scorer last season. 975 euros, French playing time. He's only going to be here for 6 months, so not long, but we could potentially get him for longer, because 1 year extension after league games played, final season, which is this season, 5 games, which I don't mind because he's okay. I'm not sure how good he is, but he has definitely proven that he can score goals. So here he is, a bit under £1,000 or euros for this guy. I'll take it, because he did prove last season where he scored 14 goals in 27 games. 7.07, free play of the match. That is pretty good. Now, what he will do to our team is that he will be second option on the left-hand side as an inside forward, because he can definitely do that role. And he is also going to be second option as a target forward or advanced forward. So he's rivaling both Madsen on the left side, and he's also rivaling Klingenberg up top. So we will have some really good firepower going into the latter stages of this season. Transfer deadline day has passed, which means we did not sell Moser, our goalkeeper, or NJ, though NJ did turn down a loan deal, so not for lack of trying, on our part at least. But we did manage to get rid of them. Well, I mean, Moser, I didn't really want to get rid of him. I would actually rather see him stay, and he did, because we didn't get a new goalkeeper, so he didn't, he's just gonna stay. One other thing to note here is that we did get a couple out on loan, actually only 2. Poulsen and Andersen, our 2 youngsters, are out on loan, and hopefully they will play a couple of games here and there. Bossen, he's doing quite well. He is in a league just below us with Tisted, and 19 games, 3 assists, 10 goals. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. He is doing really well down there. Yeah, he don't really develop a whole lot, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So that's gonna be the end of the transfer, and I think we also end the episode actually. So no games this time around. We do have those 4 games left in the preliminary, and I guess some of them might be important. I don't think there's any really big games in here. Well, Fredericia is a pretty big game. But yeah, we will take care of them in the next episode, of course, and also the rest of the season. That's going to be exciting, because we could maybe be promoted this season. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows if Hobro is definitely also overachieving quite a bit. We are probably better than Hobro, to be honest. So they are overachieving. Horsens is underachieving. Weiler is, running away with it, of course. So next time we'll see how that goes, and hopefully you enjoyed this winter transfer window. And I'm gonna see you around next time.